When did you realize that you are officially not young anymore? Got ID'd by a clearly teenaged shop assistant when I was buying a bottle of wine. He glanced over the dob, did a visible double take and said, "Whoa. Jesus. Okay." When I realized people I went to high school with now have kids in college. Some of them are even grandparents now. When I had to scroll down to find my birth year in websites. Young store clerk called me sir. I'm a sir now? Better go write my will. Went to the grocery store and thought the playlist was fire. When I started exercising, after being sedentary for far too long. A liquor store cashier asked me to pull my mask down instead of asking for ID, then proceeded to scan my bottles. When I realized I was able to have the house to myself and not try to masturbate immediately. I was telling a story to someone about something that happened a few years ago, and I genuinely couldn't remember if it was 5, 10, 20 or 30 years ago. When I realized how lucky I was to not have smartphones in high school. One day I bent down to pick something up and my back hurt. Holding your grandchild in your arms is a pretty clear sign that you're older. In my head, I'm still the same awkward, shy kid I always was. But at age 57, it's not as easy to get out of bed anymore. My back hurts. Why does my back hurt? Ouch, my shoulder too. Damn it. Aw shit, now what? Why is my knee complaining? All I did was walk 10 steps to the toilet. Damn it. Ultimate way to know if you're old. Trip in front of people. If they laugh, they think you're young. If they rush to help, concerned that you're hurt, you're old. I was training a new intern around September, and 9/11 came up, and he was born after it. While that was one of the first oh shit memories I have. When I realized that the reason the last I worked with was so excited about taking her son to see the Wiggles is because she was young enough to have listened to them as a kid herself. When I was shopping, and realized the music playing was an instrumental version of Paradise City by Guns N' Roses. Realizing I enjoyed it more than the original version was the fire that lit my cremation oven. When the idea of going to a bar or going out annoyed me, I would rather be home watching TV with my dog. When I was thinking to myself the other day, he's 17. How could he be born in 2005? Wait a minute. Oh shit. Guess it was the day I realized some oldie stations play really decent and good music, and my main station has mutated into some shitbox of commercial auto-tune hell. July 23, 2021. I was drying off after a shower, looked down and realized I am 40 and now have graying pubes. I actually wrote this on my calendar. This may seem silly, but when I realized there are people among the teen and early 20s generation who haven't seen Jurassic Park and don't consider it a must-watch classic. This isn't me judging anyone for changing tastes, etc., it just was a realization that took me aback. Over the years I've seen lots of things that were popular when I was young fall by the wayside, but for some reason this one surprised me anew because I really thought it was one of the handful of things that were going to be eternal somehow, lol. It's not the only example, but more and more I'm seeing the things that I really figured as cultural pillars being unfamiliar to the younger generation today. Not necessarily disliked or dismissed by them, just not quite as essential reading as I assumed, you know? When I realized I can't sleep on the couch anymore without paying for it the next day. When my eye doctor showed me how much my eyes had deteriorated already. I'm only 30 BTW, get your eyes checked. When I realized I can't handle a lack of sleep or alcohol the same. When people started calling me ma'am. More happen every day. I'm only 30, I'm not old, and to many, I'd still be young. I get this all the time, you're not old. I'm not old, but what no one talks about is all those steps in between. You wake up one day and everything hurts, is the biggest lie I've ever heard. Age chips away at you, and it starts early, and you feel and notice every chip. Got stuck in bed due to back pain. I used to play in bands and stay out all night and then just go to work in time to clean up in the bathroom before my 8 a.m. shift. Then one day I just woke up old. Playing music wasn't fun. I wanted to start focusing on my career, and not be so goddamn tired all the time. Within 2 months I had adopted a kitten, was generally healthier, and started dating my now partner. When the hairline started going back. I combated and it works. I've got my hair back, but that was the moment. When I hit 40 and I couldn't even have one glass of wine or a beer without waking up with a massive hangover and a terrible headache. Alcohol and I parted ways when I was 39 and never the twain shall meet again. It's just not worth the pain and misery. When I got drunk from just 4 beers and was hungover for 2 days. When newscasters and sports players look young. Oh man, remember how we all learned HTML and customized our MySpace profiles. // people staring at us and making TikToks making fun of us. Someone said yeet and I didn't know what it meant and I didn't care to ask. Today. I turned 40 today. When I enjoyed napping rather than going out. While discussing shingles, a byproduct of the chickenpox virus, and how I got it a few years ago, I learned from my young co-worker, 24 years old, that he and his generation had actually got vaccinated for chickenpox. I took my fiancée back to the university I attended and we went for a drink at my old favorite bar. Ordered a margarita and the waitress said, "Do you want the well tequila that we serve to everyone or like adult tequila?" When I started to complain about my kids' fashion. In my 40s, started to get small aches in different places. My first 2-day hangover. Edit, to add, after a night of average to below average levels of drunkenness. When you say, back in my day. I farted and threw out my back. When I no longer fit in the 18 to 29 category of surveys. When I went back to college to study art a couple of years ago and shared classes with college-age kids born in years I could remember living through. When I went to a nightclub last weekend and everyone looks like children. When I bought my first house and legit meant for a couple kids to get off my lawn. My name is on the mortgage. My lawn. Get the fuck off my lawn. When I realized I have an opinion on my county's politics, and they're all a bunch of corrupt kleptocratic oligarchs. The barber asked if I wanted my ears done. When other people started to call me senior with deference, now every time it happens I die a little. When a song I loved as a teenager appeared as an oldie on the radio. I just bought a new mop and was really excited to go home and use it, sad face. I mopped the whole apartment in absolute bliss. I finally decided that I will not fall for the Swiffer commercials again. Kid at one of the camps I worked for during university called me old. I told him I was still young enough to remember Digimon. What's that? When things I enjoyed as a kid had their 25th anniversary. Damn it, Jurassic Park. When sneezing became a high-risk activity. When the popular show I watched in high school in the 90s starts playing on the classic TV channel between MASH and the Brady Bunch. When I hurt myself sleeping wrong. When I opened a box of sugary kids cereal and tossed the toy into the garbage. People all of a sudden calling me sir like I was a royal knight at the round table. I soon realized I looked old as shit. When you get down to six-pack of territory, though you can pass for a young lad. When the check knee light came on. I'm scared of teenagers now. When I dislocated my jaw lying in bed yawning. Didn't even think it was even possible. When a 22-year-old offered me their arm to get down steps. I'm not old, I was just tired, you little punk. When I had an apprentice work alongside of me and he had no idea who the Spice Girls were. When I realized older family members were also winging it with adulting, and that it was very normal to not know stuff / not be perfectly organized to be considered an adult. My old job regularly had me do public outreach events to teenagers. I was in my early 20s but still thought the gap wasn't as big as people made it out to be. Then they had me go to a teenage art party at a museum to help them find jobs. The kids came in saying slang I couldn't understand and I felt like a fish out of water. One of the most surreal moments of my life was the music coming on, seeing all these kids run out to the dance floor and ironically / unironically twerk to the Baby Einstein's remix. It was a moment where I was slapped with the realization of, yep, I'm not a kid anymore. For what it's worth, I like teenagers and find they generally get a worse rep than they deserve, but it's funny seeing how different we are as the years go by. When I realized the year 1992 was 30 years ago. I realized how expensive cheese is. When I gave up on things getting better and accepted I had wasted my life. How long it takes to lose weight. When I saw a PS2 in a museum. I'm 37 and I still have to pull my driver's license out to prove it. This is just conversationally, people don't believe I am as old as I say. So not yet. I was taking out the garbage one night, sneezed really hard and lost a temporary crown on my tooth into the street where it was almost immediately run over by the garbage truck. Despite being a big guy, I've always felt generally healthy. I've recently been having aches and locking in my knees, so I'm convinced this is the first sign that I'm getting old. When I woke up seriously hurting from, as far as I could remember, nothing.